Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at game number 2 between San and MarineKing. This time we are on the map Ohana. Our blue Terran player in the lower right-hand spawn position is MarineKing, and his opponent over here in the upper left is our red Protoss player, San. So again, this is game number 2. MarineKing winning game number 1. He opened up with some Hellion pressure, which was able to kill off 5 of San's workers early on. However, at the exact same time, we saw San with a 3-gate push, which, MarineKing was able to defend. However, he had to pull off a lot of SCVs, which did hurt his economy. He came back, though, responded with a counterattack of Marauder Hellion, which San was able to defend against, but at the same time as that a counterattack, MarineKing comes out with an expansion, works up a strong economy, gets a very large Marine siege tank army, and then pushes out with that for the victory. San also transitioned into some DT there at the same time as that Marine tank transitioned for MarineKing. But the DT wasn't enough. It did not do enough damage. Dark Templar are such a risky route to go. You sacrifice a huge amount of army size to get that Dark Shrine up and to spend all that Vespene gas on the DT. And if your opponent is even remotely prepared, you're pretty much screwed, which is what we saw unfortunately happen there to San. He just wasn't able to do pretty much any damage because of the fact that, well, MarineKing, he had an engineering bay in play and was just able to quickly come out with a turret and stop most of that damage. But the biggest problem is that because he went for DT, the bulk of his army back at home was very, very small in comparison to what MarineKing had, and MarineKing was just able to roll over him, like without issue, just completely rolled him. So that was the biggest problem there last game for San. But once more, we are on game number 2. So new game, new day, fresh start for both these players. What am I saying? Nobody knows. Who cares? All right, first Marine coming out right now. We're going to see that probe try to do a bit of harass here on this SCV, and yes, he is going to get a few shots off, but this Marine coming out for revenge, forcing the probe back. He says, hey, you do damage to my SCV, I do damage to you. I shoot you in the face. That's what the Marine says. I kid you not. Is he going to continue to push here with this Marine? Yeah, he's just going to go for the tower, which is going to force San back there. Probably stop. No, not stopping at this tower. He's going to continue to move forward. Wow, what a brave Marine. San will be forced to move again. This time going back this way, which MarineKing does scout that movement, so he knows that probe is heading back towards his main, and he's got nothing to deny it. He's got nothing to deny it. Probe's going to walk right in, spot the 2 racks. So there it is, probe waltzes into the main. Yes, he dances his way into the main. And we'll be placing down a pylon just to delay this attachment here. First 2 Marines coming out. There's the Tech Lab attachment. Ooh, beautiful. He waits until he kills the probe to actually get that Tech Lab placed down. I mean, we have to assume that San expects the Tech Lab, but still. He actually waited until that probe was killed, which is pretty awesome to see. Now, we do have a Stalker at this tower right now, which is a little dangerous here. Those Marines need to sit atop of this ramp to prevent that. There you go. That's the position that he needs. Sitting on top of the ramp will prevent that Stalker from being able to push up effectively. We do have an expansion coming out here for San. You can see that is about halfway finished right now. Also, 2 gateways warping in. Another assimilator also coming out. This is Stalker proof right here. Basically what happens is that the second the Stalker were to break the vision plane, he would just be right under Marine fire. So it really stops it from being as effective. SCV Scout trying to move forward. The Stalker will engage that, forcing him back immediately. San doesn't even bother chasing. He doesn't want to get baited back into this wall of death here. Alright, we do have a factory coming through right now. So there's 2 racks into expansion opening here for MarineKing. Also coming out with that stim pack research. Another barracks getting placed down. Back over here for San. Robotics facility coming on through, which will allow him to get that observer up. He's got a few sentries, a couple of zealots guard in the front. Very passive opening here, early game from both these players. In comparison to what we saw last game, very, very passive early game. This time on Ohana. Natural expansion now up here for MarineKing, changing that into an orbital command, also coming out with a reactor here on this factory, at the same time building a starport. So of course this is going to be used for a hot swap. The starport will be going right on that reactor once it does finish. Here comes a proxy pylon, looks like San preparing to be aggressive here. However, Stimpack research again very close to finished. He's also coming out with the robotics bay, so we'll be going for some quick Colossus. One observer in play. Wouldn't hurt to see a second, although not entirely necessary. I like coming out with two, but that's just me. It's probably wasteful. What do I know? Here's the hot swap. Double medevac will be coming through right now for MarineKing. Still working off these 3 barracks. Stimpack finished. Combat shield starting right now. Wouldn't be a bad idea, and we could very well be seeing a push here from MarineKing. Once these 2 medevacs do finish, he'll have Stimpack, and by the time he arrives, Combat Shield will be close to finish, and it looks like that may very well be what's happening. Observer Scout moving out. We'll spot it all. He sees it. Force back with the Stalker. We continue to see this Bio Army push. Medevacs finishing, now heading towards that army. Now again, we've got that Colossus coming through, and he's getting Corona boosted out quick fast here. He's like, I need you now. And he certainly does. That Colossus is going to make a world of difference here. Just about finished. Bio's getting ready to move in. And here we go. Colossus has now finished just as the Bio arrives. Combat shield very close to done. Oh, there's the force field wall, and here's the roasting. Watch that Colossus just go to work. Lifting off, MarineKing realized, man, that's a loss for me. I'm just gonna pull back for now. And he could try dropping though in the main, try to split up the forces here of San. There it goes, dropping the main coming. San's gonna see this right away though. Yeah, there it is. So you can see it do a little bit of damage. Here comes the Colossus again though, so not able to lift off this time. Oh yeah, there you go. Sneaking just barely away there from those stalkers. Hey, you know, save your Marine. Oh, what are you doing, you silly? Looks like he'll just be scouting, stimming up, running around the base. Just to get some scouting done, try to kill off a worker. Get one worker, get it! Yeah, he gets it. He's gonzo though, he's dead. Oh, he's still running around, that's crazy. What a crazy, crazy Marine. Finally gets killed. Alright, back over here. Nothing doing. Didn't see any counter-aggression from San or anything. Now he is warping into Zealot, and that guy will just be chilling out here in this third base position for when MarineKing decides to move out with that. Doesn't have a command center third one yet, though. Actually coming out with 2 more racks and continuing to just work off 2 bases. 2 Colossus in play, third one coming out. Thermal Lance also almost finished there, and San is now preparing to move. We got 1 Marine at the tower, scouting the forces. The rest of them just pulling back here. Scan, gets the observer, nice. Very nice eyes there by MarineKing. Factory Scout still just dancing around. Here we go, blink research starting. And actually, yeah, San decides not to engage, and he's just moving back. And actually getting ready to take a third here. We have a 3rd command center coming out now for Mr. MarineKing. Starting to sit Viking heavy. He's got 4 in play, 5 and 6, almost done. Viking's going to help him tremendously against this Colossus, of which there are now 3. I mean, that's a lot of SP this early on to have 6 Vikings by the 13-minute mark in game, but again, we have that strong Colossus presence from San, so it makes sense. This should work here. At the very least, we're going to see him delay this expansion, that's for sure. Templar Archives coming out. Blink research almost finished. Here comes the push. Stimmed up Bio moving forward. Vikings straight for those Colossus. 1 down. Bio stimmed up and trying to micro back and forth. There are only 2 Vikings left out of these initial 6 that we start out with there. Turn around, stimming up. Taking out those sentries, trying to drop that Guardian Shield. Oh, a little bit of a flank. Pins the Colossus, and he gets that one as well. His Bioforce is pretty small, though. He's got reinforcements coming, which is going to help. don't think he's got quite enough here. More and more reinforcements streaming out across the map. Got a couple more medevacs actually over here. That medevac and Viking get taken out by the Blink Stalkers, and it looks like San's deciding counterattack. Now's the time. I don't know though, because we got that small group there. Yeah, he would be all set. Factory lands. We'll be delaying this expansion just a wee bit, not very long, but delays it for a moment or two. Force the lift off. Why not just keep it there? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, back over here, we're seeing a little bit of a movement here, and it looks like we are actually going to see MarineKing move down and take that natural expansion. Now, San will be scouting this out. He does have that Zealot that he placed there earlier, plus that Pylon. MarineKing will be moving down to take out both of these, but the big thing here for San is that he gets the scout. He sees what's going on right now. He is fully aware that this expansion is coming down, so at least now he knows what he's up against. All right, MarineKing's now on 3 bases. I know what to expect in terms of his economy, and as a result, basically how much he can afford, the size of his army, whether or not there's going to be a huge 2-base push coming, etc., etc., etc. In fact, the same reason why he's placing a pylon down over here in a 4th base position is for that very thing, to see when and if an expansion comes. Also, this will allow him to scout any drops that might move from the main north towards his 3rd or possible 4th over here. We're seeing another mobilization here for MarineKing, heading his way across the map here, the bulk of his bio army. Now remember, we did see that Templar Archives come out for San. He is sitting right now with a Archon in play. No High Templar though. Just got the Archon at the moment. Bile stimming up. They go straight for the expansion. They're going to take out these forges and delay those upgrades. Oh boy, that hurts. That hurts a lot because we're seeing 2-2 upgrades right now. Start for MarineKing. Takes out a Colossus on the high ground, pulls back with the rest of his forces. Taking out both of those forges was huge for MarineKing. As you can see, San has no upgrades at all. Nothing. 1-1 is finished for MarineKing. 2-2 coming out right now. That hurts a lot. San deciding that really delayed me. I need to push out. I need to do something. That was painful. That was painful to see. Really bad for San there. Taking a quick look at the vision of both these players. No drops or anything going on at the moment. Sitting at the tower, he sees this all coming. He is fully prepared. Again, San's like, I need to do something though. I can't do nothing because losing those upgrades, the more time that goes on, the further he's gonna fall behind MarineKing. MarineKing splitting up his forces to try to cut back on the effectiveness of things like Archons and the Colossus. He's gonna take out the army from this side. And still get these Archons over here, but those are about to get sandwiched and taken out, and that again hurts San a lot. Looking at the resources lost, San is just slightly behind, but don't forget, I'll say it for a 3rd time, that upgrade loss, that upgrade disadvantage is going to sting for San. Especially once 2-2 finishes in like a second. Spile all of a sudden becomes that much more effective at just tearing through the Protoss army. We also have the level 1 ship upgrades coming out for those Vikings.
I'm here in the shadow.
Gonna let him deal with that Colossus easier. More and more Colossus coming through. We are seeing a transition into High Templar for Storm. That Templar Archives was just to come out with those Archons. 2-2 now finished. 3-3 starting. And here comes another push from MarineKing. Stimming up. Walks right into the natural expansion. Here he goes. Watch those 2-2 upgrades just shred. Vikings forcing back that Colossus. Now we got a strong army here for San. Strong enough to force him quite far back, but lots of reinforcements coming forward here as well. Medevacs are pretty low on energy. We got a few more joining the fun though. Plus the rest of those reinforcement bios. Look at that mini-map. More and more bios streaming across the map to reinforce here as MarineKing continues up this push. San just forced to dance back and forth to deal with this. Doesn't have charge for Zealots. Doesn't even have 1-1 upgrades. And the 3-3 are a 1/3 of the way finished now for MarineKing. Take a look at the resources lost. San a little bit further behind than where he was last we checked. And we do have another Colossus. Did that last one get taken out? I believe it did. All right. You know, MarineKing's just going to keep it up. He realizes he's got that huge upgrade advantage. And he's happy to just keep reinforcing. Here comes some SCVs to join the fun, too. That's funny. They're going to be used to try to distract some fire, do a little bit of extra damage, but the biggest thing is that they distract a bit of fire. Continuing to push forward now. Goes for that Colossus. Colossus micro back. Nice micro that we're seeing here from San. Just doing a great job. But again, just keep an eye on that mini-map. More and more bio just relentlessly making their way across the map. Getting up under the Colossus, takes that out. And that's it. San calls it. And that's the game. And as such, that's the series. Guess they're still just chatting though. It's over. I don't know what they're saying. Someone translate for me, please. Goodbye, expansion. Great game here. Short series, but pretty impressive play here from both these players, to be honest. And it was an exciting series, even though these weren't super long, macro-intense games. So thank you so much for watching. All right, my friends, and that concludes this series here between MarineKing and San. San winning both games. First game was pretty intense. This game started off a little bit more passive, but then ended up working its way into some really, really interesting back and forth large battles here between these two. However, once more, we did see MarineKing come out victorious. So thanks again, guys. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.